naturally for somebody to take something that is done on a regular daily basis of eating food, to take that away from yourself for an entire week, there's a mental strength that comes from that, that is gained from that. I have a goal in mind. The goal is $1 million. So now that's the destination, or at least the first destination. So now you can start mapping out a plan. And for me, the first thing was, okay, do a fast. Can you go without food for 7 days? Right? Because if you can go without food for 7 days, then you can go years upon years without alcohol, without weed, without, psychedelics. You can do that. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this fast. And, going forward, I won't ever have to do another fast if I don't feel like it. Today is February 17th. It is a Saturday. It's been 6 days. Tomorrow will be 7 days since I did my fast. I didn't want to make this video right after my fast ended because for me, it was one of the situations where I needed to let myself take a second away from the fast and see how I'm feeling, after like the high of finally getting to eat some food after 7 days. And I wanted to also see how would I think going, forward, or how would I be thinking after 7 days of doing the fast, right? And the reason I wanted to do this 7-day fast was, one, it was something I wanted to accomplish, right? So in the summertime, I did 6 days and I was gonna do 7, but my friend Jake Wade and I had planned a Taco Tuesday, and the week before it had fell through. So I started my fast, and then he hit me up on like the 4th day and he was like, yo, you still trying to do the Taco Tuesday? And I was like, you know what, the F with it, why not? Because I started my fast on a Wednesday and I broke it on a Tuesday. And for me to have called it a 7-day fast, I needed to go from Wednesday morning to Wednesday morning for it to be a full 7 days. So I broke it on the 6th day, and it was okay. Like, I enjoyed hanging out with my friend. We cook together often and we just get together and just hang out. And it's important to, build momentum in relationships or in anything you do, to like make time and actively work on building that relationship and deepening connections with people. And so I broke my fast on the 6th day. And, when I did that fast, that time I was desperate to lose weight, because I was around like 180 or something like that. And I really wasn't happy with my body. And I wanted to get back to like the normal weight that I was used to, which was like 165, 160 range. And that fast was out of desperation to lose weight. And this time around, there was no desperation. There was no like need to lose weight. That wasn't a factor in this time of me doing the fast. But, I really had molded over before I came to the decision that, I wanted to stay sober until I find a way to make $1 million in a calendar year. Now, I don't know if that's before or after taxes. I wanted to find a way I was like, I want to make $1 million in a calendar year. I want to stay sober until I make $1 million in a calendar year. And one of my goals is to be a multimillionaire in the next 10 years, and I'm 24 right now. And so I was like, okay, staying sober is going to be hard, but it's very freaking doable. It's absolutely doable. My mentor has been sober 15 years. You can stay sober, you can find a way to get it done. And so, to test myself, what's up, John? To test myself, I decided that I would do a fast to see if I could complete the task of going 7 days, just water, no food at all for 7 days. And, like it's like if you give people the option, would you rather eat food or drink alcohol for the rest of your life? You get one or the other, you can't have one. You can't have both, right? Everybody's gonna pick food because you need food to survive, right? And for me, it was okay. So you don't need to make $1 million in a calendar year to be happy or to live. You don't need that much money, right? And I was like, okay, yes, I understand that, but also, you know, you don't you don't need to stay sober to make $1 million. But what are the benefits of me staying sober if I want to make $1 million? One, it gives me a binding contract, right? Like it gives me something that I can always come back to, which is I have a goal in mind. The goal is $1 million. So now that's the destination, or at least the first destination. So now you can start mapping out a plan. And for me, the first thing was, okay, do a fast. Can you go without food for 7 days? Right? Because if you can go without food for 7 days, then you can go years upon years without alcohol, without weed, without, psychedelics. You can do that. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this fast. And, going forward, I won't ever have to do another fast if I don't feel like it. If I don't feel like it. But I can always do a 7-day fast as a way of reminding myself, to ground myself, to, allow myself to take something away from myself, which is food, And as I'm going through this experience, it was genuinely a very humbling experience for me because, the first couple days was okay, just you have that initial energy from the last big meal you eat before, going into this fast. And about my 5th day, was one of those things that I was really tested myself because I remember, I'm sitting over at the countertop on the island and I'm writing, taking notes on my book that I'm listening to, and I'm getting hungry, So on Thursday, I had gone snowboarding with Jake, and then, I spent a lot of energy and I didn't eat any food. I'm just drinking water. And Friday I had work. And then I come home from work, I'm tired, I take a shower, and I'm reading this book. And when you're reading a book, sometimes you just get the satiation for food and you just want something to like satisfy you, to ease you up so you can focus on the book. And I'm now 48 hours away from finishing my fast, and I start to get these voices in my head that are like, man, you've got some granola bars in there. You've got some granola bars in there. Nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna know if you eat, And I'm just thinking to myself, yeah, nobody's gonna know, but I'm gonna know. And I won't ever be able to look anybody in the face and say that I did a 7-day fast. And I had just, the week before, I think I had spoken to my therapist about living in truth, and I'm hungry. I'm getting, a little sad because I'm like, I know I'm in pain a little bit right now, but I'm 48 hours away from completion of a 7-day fast. 7 days with no food, just water and bone broth, And I'm just thinking to myself, like, this is so doable, like I'm so close, like, and I'm in pain, my stomach hurts, and I'm reading a book about self-improvement and how to make things happen, how to make your ideas become a reality, how to pull them out of your head. And I'm just like getting ready to cry because I'm like, crap, man, I know how bad I want this. I know how bad I want to do this thing. So, getting sad that, I'm so close, like what is that gonna do? You know what I mean? And I just remember, like, I was like, okay, pause the book, go for a walk, listen to some music, and let yourself get away from the house because there's food here. And it's like, yeah, there's gonna be food and you can eat and then go to sleep. But then it was like, why would I break my fast when I'm 48 hours away? I'm 5 days into this thing and this is when I choose to break it. you know? Like, this is not the time to be playing games, man. Like, we're serious right now. And so I go for the walk, and I'm just like, oh, I needed this, you know? And for me, that was a very important moment for me because it was just like, it was just to be able to push through the pinnacle of mental agony. And, you know, there was a little bit of physical pain in there, but the physical pain, like, of my stomach hurting was not as bad as, like, mentally having to battle the fact that, oh my gosh, I'm literally, you know, I'm hungry. Like, I'm hungry, but physically I can stand it, I can take it. But mentally, like, you know, I could sit here and cheat this fast if I really wanted to. But then I would have to start all over again after 5 days if I did that. You know, and to be able to push through that fifth day, you know, and then I wake up in the morning on Saturday and I'm just like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, you know? It felt good to, like, to be able to, like, get through those, like, voices where it was, you know, you can eat and nobody's gonna find out. And then I'm also getting you know, a different part of my mind is going, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, you're so close. And then I'm also thinking about the fact that, like, okay, like, I could sit here and lie to everybody and say I did 7 days, but I didn't, you know? And I was like, you know, you can always lie to people, but you can't lie to yourself. You know, you can't look in the mirror and really feel the truth, like, in your body. You can't feel that if you didn't do it. And so then I was like, you know what? If there is a higher power, if there is a, you know, an organizer of this universe, a creator of this universe, they would know. They would know that I didn't do a 7-day fast. And I don't want to find out the repercussions of telling a lie like that. You know, I don't want to find out. And Saturday comes around, you know, I went to the gathering my friend Josh did, and he made ramen for everybody, and I wasn't able to eat, but I served everybody. I helped, you know, I was a part of the experience of just serving ramen and having everybody show up and enjoying and getting my mind off of, like, the fact that I'm not eating and I'm serving food. But, you know, I was more focused on, like, enjoying being around people instead of sitting here on this couch looking at the clock going, oh my gosh, when am I gonna freaking get to eat? I'm counting down the hours, you know? Instead, I got out of the house. I went to see some friends. I got to be around good people. I got to serve people, you know? And it eased my mind. And I have people there who are, like, encouraging me. They're like, oh my gosh, dude, you've got 4 hours, then you're all done. Like, come midnight, you know, when the clock strikes midnight, you can eat food, you know? Like, you got this, man. Like, you got this, bro. And they're encouraging me, you know, and I'm around good energy. And, you know, the fast is done. I break my fast on Sunday at 12:08. You know, I ate 2 cookies and a chocolate and in my Uber ride home, because I was like, oh my gosh, I got to take home all the leftovers and the ramen and strawberries and cake. And that's not how you're supposed to break a fast, but I was starving. Like, my stomach literally, it felt like my stomach was just dried, and, like, my insides were being twisted slowly, and you can't scream, you can't say anything, you just stomach it, you know? And that's literally what it felt like. It's just slowly, like, my insides were being twisted and just wrapped around, and that's what it felt like. Just picture, like, the Uzumaki sign, you know? In anime, that's what it is. And, you know, this whole week after my fast, emotionally, I feel so grateful emotionally, because, one, I lived in truth. I pushed through, you know, and naturally for somebody to take something that is done on a regular daily basis of eating food, to take that away from yourself for an entire week, there's a mental strength that comes from that, that is gained from that, you know. And at work, you know, I'm just noticing like myself being more willing to participate in helping out with duties that don't involve myself, and being willing to go out of my way and saying, hey, what can I help you with? You know, I'm noticing my patience with people, you know, being able to have a slower reaction to things in a good way, you know, to be able to allow people to take their time in speaking, in expressing themselves, with myself, and listening to people, and realizing that, you know, sometimes we're in a rush, you know, we're rushing everything, conversations are being rushed, you know, and sometimes we're just trying to speak all the time. And I just, you know, I was able to just take a moment and take a step back and go, speak. Please speak. I will listen. I will just be here in the moment with you. And I will just be a shoulder for you to lean on and allow you to release energy, you know? Because, you know, silence is amazing. Silence is amazing. Silence builds a lot of energy, right? And then, you know, sometimes people are silent about sadness. People are silent about, you know, hurt. And people can be silent about happiness. You have to be courteous to people and allowing them to share their happiness with you, you know? And I'm so grateful that I was able to experience what it's like to do a 7-day fast, because for me, it's definitely giving me the ground basis to understand the mental strength that I have and that I'm capable of mustering up. Like, I cannot believe it, you know? And I'm excited that, you know what, like, I've set a big goal, you know? I've set a big goal of $1 million in a calendar year, one way or another. I'm gonna find a way. I'm gonna get into rooms with people who make that kind of money, who are going to teach me how to make that kind of money. I'm gonna find a way to build something that will generate money, that will help people, you know? And that's what I'm focusing on, is, you know, build myself in a way that will allow people to ease up around me, to respect me, to open up to me, and to be willing to spend their energy and time teaching me, because I've proven myself worthy. I've proven myself worthy to myself, and then proven myself worthy to other people who will feel comfortable investing time into me and what I want to do, or investing time into something that we can create together. And now picture this, right? Do I need to stay sober? No. Do I want to stay sober? Absolutely, because I've relapsed a few times. I'm not gonna sit here and bullshit, you know? I've relapsed. I've gotten it out of my system now, you know? Like, it was one of those where I didn't do it for a long time, then I did it, and then it was like, okay, we got it out of our system. We don't need that anymore. And now it's like, we're gonna go sober until we achieve the goal. And now I just picture myself somewhere, you know, on a beach, oceanic balcony or view, with you know, Boo Boo and Jake and Tarek, you know, and a few people that we just all get together on a vacation. And I've made $1 million in a calendar year. I've stayed sober for however many years it took me to get there. And, you know, we're doing a toast to me taking a shot for the first time after staying sober until I accomplished what I wanted to accomplish. You know? Now that to me is success, right? Because I'm actively working on shaping myself in a way that allows me to handle, you know, the things that are made for enjoyment of life, but not abusing them, you know? And I'm super grateful for that. Like, I'm so grateful that my friends are so supportive of me, and they, you know, they tell me that I can do it, that it is possible to get it done, you know? And I can't wait for that day to come one day when I can come back to this video and go, look, exactly what we said is happening right now as we are holding up some shot glasses or something, tequila shots, or all around with the boys. And I'm just like trying to hold back tears of like knowing I set a goal and I did it, you know, with Boo Boo, Tarek, and Jake, and Mickey, and Addison all around. And I can pay for all of them because I made the money and I can afford it. And we are all on a vacation somewhere, just hanging out, enjoying time, smoking cigars, vibing to some music. So that was the purpose of this fast. I wanted to live in truth. I wanted to take something away from myself. And I wanted to experience something new. I'm super grateful right now. And I'm grateful for Mike, you know, the owner of this sober house, who, you know, has given us a great environment to find a way to get ourselves back together, you know. I'm super grateful for him. And I'm grateful to myself for being willing to do hard stuff, being willing to challenge myself emotionally and mentally, and even physically in a different way, you know. I'm super happy about that. And with that being said, I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you for watching. Today is February 17th, 2024.